Hello. Welcome to this live session Q&A about buying in France in the French Riviera. This is our first live session, so I hope it will be okay. It might be some little technical problems, I don't know, but we'll try not to. What time is it? It's 7 p.m. So I was earlier 30 seconds. So I'll say hello again. Hello again. See that we have Lazy Traveler with us, and has already a question. And I have some questions that I received by email, so that I will answer during this live Q&A session. As I was saying, yeah, it's the first Q&A session we're having live, so I hope everything goes well. And maybe not will be perfect, but here we are. All right, so let's maybe wait a little bit if we have some people connecting. Otherwise, just for as we do with webinars, whether it's 1 or 20 people exactly the same, or 100 people exactly the same, we do the live on the webinar anyway. I can start with the first question, maybe. So just first of all, just a little presentation. So I'm Fabrizio. I'm the founder and CEO of French Riviera House Hunting, FRH. We help buyers to find the dream property here in the French Riviera. We help with the whole process, from pre-selecting the properties, matching to the criteria, to controlling everything about the apartment or the house they want to buy, and guiding them through the notary process from A to Z until the final signature, and also helping with some relocation services related to the acquisition of the property, such as utilities transfers, insurance, opening a bank account, getting a French telephone line, so everything to be ready to move in the new home. Yeah, that's what we do. And we are 6 people now, and I have a big international team there. Everybody is an expat, so they all went through the process of moving to France and to the French Riviera. So there we go. All right, so let's start with the questions. So I have a first question from Lazy Traveler 13 that asked me, I'm so confused about real estate agents in France. Do we get someone to represent us like in America, or it's just the property that gets the agent? So we have, the French system is special. It's French. So basically, yes, you can have someone to represent you. That's what we do. But let's say that normally the way the French system is that you have agents that their main business is to find houses to sell, and they spend most of the time with the seller and not really taking care of the buyer. And that's why I built this company to help buyers. So yes, you can be represented by a real estate hunter. We're not the only one, of course, but we're the best. Anyway, so yes, you can be represented. Yeah. Otherwise, it's a bit messy because you don't really have an MLS here in France. So you have to go through all the different agencies, portals of real estate listings, and it's a bit confusing. Because then it's a long research and takes a lot of time and effort. So yeah. I have a second question here. By the way, I will write my email if you want to send some other questions after the live session. If you want, I will write it in the chat so that you can contact us. And if you want to review the live session, it will be on our YouTube channel. So the address is info@fr-housen.com. I'm just putting it now on the chat so that you can have it. Feel free to ask any questions and send emails, no problem at all. So next question. Your professor, Mr. Professor, hello. Hi, may I ask you what? Where is the safest, nicest location in south of France, nearby Nice? Nicest and affordable location. So, good question. Good question. The French Riviera is expensive, generally speaking, from Menton to Cannes, and even a little bit further west now. Prices are keep on going up. They've been going up for the last 20 years, and then they keep on going up. There's a lot of demand for few offers. So yeah, for less offers, and yes, the market is very active, and prices are high and still going up. But the French Riviera is also, I would say, a mix of micro neighborhoods, micro places. So not all the Riviera is expensive. For example, well, let's say this. Let's say that if you want the coastline and the sea view, yes, it's expensive everywhere. Everywhere. No, there's no exception. But for example, if you're ready to go a little bit more inland, you have a city like Grasse, which is 40-minute drivings from the 30 if you go to the beach to Cannes. So let's say 30 to 40-minute driving from the coast, from the sea. And Grasse is one of those spots that is cheaper. You can find apartments. I would say a two-bedroom apartment for 250, 300,000 euros. Where in Nice it would be at least for 400, 450. So yes, it's you can find cheaper apartments there. And the city is nice. It's not a bad place. It's a nice city. It's just that it's again 30 to 40 minutes driving away from the sea. Cannes-sur-Mer, in some neighborhoods of Cannes-sur-Mer. Cannes-sur-Mer is just west of Nice. It's the next almost. There's Nice, Saint-Laurent-du-Var, and Cannes-sur-Mer. And Cannes-sur-Mer, some neighborhoods are a little less expensive than Nice. Some neighborhoods, so it's feasible, but it's more expensive than Grasse. So yeah, I would say that there are some places. And then if you go really west inland, like in what we call, there are two states in the French Riviera. There's the Alpes-Maritimes and le Var. And in the Var state, département du Var, there you can have very good prices. It all depends, again, how far you are from the sea. Like, is Grasse elegant? Yes, yes. So elegant. It's not like, I would say that the most elegant city in the Riviera is Cannes, for sure. Antibes also, but Cannes is probably the first one. Grasse has a very, very nice old town. It's really changing. Grasse is really changing for the best. An explanation of the low prices is that Grasse had a bad reputation. Part of it is because it was far from the coast again, and the second one is because it was not very well inhabited for some time. But since the last, I would say, probably 20 years or last 15 years, it's really, really changing. And the old town of Grasse is an old town basically. It's a very charming city actually. Carré d'Or. Oh wow, changing. Boom, back in Nice. So sorry, another question from your professor. Carré d'Or. Well, Carré d'Or is best. Depends. Yeah, it's everybody wants Carré d'Or, but you just go 2 blocks away from Carré d'Or, and you're still in a very nice neighborhood, and prices are cheaper. So yeah, if you want Carré d'Or, you'll pay full price. If you move a little bit 2 blocks away, you can have either better prices or more space. That's a choice that you can have there. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Carré d'Or is beautiful, of course, very demanded, very upscale, but you can have same just away. So another question that I had was, okay, let me check here in the emails I have received. Okay, Okay, yeah, it's a little bit what we just said, but what's the question was what's a realistic budget range to buy a decent apartment in Nice right now? So I would say that in Nice, if you want in the Nice center, so what I call the center of Nice for me, it's everything under the railway station, and from Gambetta on the west, Avenue Gambetta on the west, and the port area on the east part of Nice. And so in that part, of course, there are differences again, like I said just before. But for a two-bedroom, you can count on in between 450 to 600,000 euros. Of course, there's more, but I'm giving kind of an average. And if you go out of the center, you can still find properties like a two-bedroom apartment for 380, 400,000 euros. If you're ready to, for example, be at, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 tram stops from the center, you can still find this kind of places. Of course, you will be. I mean, if you're in the center, it feels more like a lively area, and there's like expat vibe that you don't have in some other areas. But some people want the areas where you don't have expats. They want to be among locals. So yeah. Another question I had was the hidden costs when buying. So there are no hidden costs, but you have to take into consideration that when you buy in France, you have what we call the notary fees, which are not exactly notary fees, are mainly taxes. Actually, the notary takes only about 2% of the property price, but the whole taxes, notary fees is about 8%, roughly 8%. So you have to take that into consideration when you buy in France to add 8% to the property price. That's the only fee that you would pay on top of the property price. And then during the life of the property, you have the what we call the property taxes to pay, and of course the condominium expenses, which really depends on the condominium. Let's say property tax, the calculation is very, very complicated. So I will not give you the formula because I don't even know it. It's super complicated, but counts about 22 euros per square meter, more or less, to give you. It really depends also on the city. It's a part of the tax um, can be changed by the cities, so it really depends. But count about 22 euros, and then of course you have the condominium expenses if you're living in an apartment, in a condo, it really depends on the type of condo, but it's in between 150 and 300 to 400 euros per month. If you were a buyer, where would you buy from? Can you specify the question? Didn't get it. Where would you buy from? If you can just specify the question on the chat, please. Thank you. Another question I had was, as a U.S. citizen, can I buy a property in France without restrictions? Yeah, there are no restrictions. The only thing that you have to take into account is that in France we have what we call a wealth tax on real estate. So yeah, let's speak about this tax. It's one. So the tax is your tax for properties which value is above 1.3 million euros. Okay. But two things. The first thing is that it's not on the 1.3 million. The tax is based on what it's calculated on what comes on after the 1.3 million. So if you have an apartment that costs 1.5 million, the tax will be on the difference between 1.3 and 1.5, and not on 1.3. And it's only the tax is only on your French properties. If you have properties in America or elsewhere in the world, that do not count into the calculation of the tax. But otherwise, no limitations. Yeah, no limitations on. Oh, there you go. You have the specification. Where would you prefer to buy a house nearby the seaside at the most affordable price, please? Good question. Next to the seaside, reasonable, affordable price. So in the Riviera, I don't know what you call affordable, but count that on the Riviera. If you want a house by the sea, it really depends. But I don't know. Let's take a 200 square meter house. It would be by the sea minimum 1.5 million, more or less. Reasonable, yeah. And sorry, I'm not reading the chat. And so if you're looking for something under a million, really from Menton to Cannes, it's impossible. So you would have to go to the Var department, and some places in the Var are very expensive too, like Saint Maxime is very important, it's very expensive. Probably after Fréjus, you can find some properties at a reasonable price, but by the seaside, under a million. But yeah, and probably you would have to aim to a smaller size house than 200 square meter. Yeah. So going west, but not everywhere in the west. Not Saint-Tropez, not Saint-Maxime, not these kind of places which are very demanded and very fashionable and so expensive. And how about Fréjus? Yeah, Fréjus, that's what I was telling you. Yeah, in Fréjus, you might find some more reasonable prices. Yeah, indeed. It's a little less, I would say, fashionable than Saint-Raphaël or Saint-Maxime. What else? What other question do I have? I have a question from Tracy that says, what percentage down payment is usually required for non-residents? For a mortgage. Okay, yeah. So usually for a mortgage, the banks require 50% down payment for expats and Americans, especially. Let's say, but it's always worth to. We work with a couple of good mortgage brokers, and they can have better solutions. So sometimes we manage to have more lower down payments. So in between 30 to 50%, sometimes even 30. But it really depends on the situation, on the bank. So it's always worth asking a mortgage broker, and we can give you some names. Because there are possibilities. But let's say that as a thumb rule, it's normally 50%. Sorry, I'm just reading the questions. On Promenade des Anglais, first floor noise versus fourth floor. Good question. No, Promenade des Anglais, noise everywhere. Okay. So let's say that you definitely need double glazed or triple glazed windows. Double glazed is enough. But I've been visiting different kinds of apartments on the Promenade des Anglais, first floor, fourth floor, last floor, and when you're on your balcony, noise. You have a 3 lanes avenue there, La Promenade, which is, of course, sea view, beautiful, but you have noise. So inside with double glazed windows, you're good, but outside it's noisy everywhere. Why is Saint-Maxime pricey? Well, because it's a fashionable destination. You have a lot of already French people that have secondary homes there. A lot of people are retired there from Paris, from Lyon already, and then you have also expats, and so the demands creates the price. So that's it. Simple. Saint-Tropez, Saint-Maxime again, Saint-Raphaël also. And then, of course, it depends where you have your house exactly. And because in those parts of France, the coastal protection was not always respected. So you have some houses that are directly on the sea. So those ones are super expensive. But yeah, again, it's a very demanded area. The south of France is very demanded. Everybody wants to be in the sun, of course, and some places become fashionable, like Saint-Tropez became fashionable because of Brigitte Bardot and all the movie actors that then choose to go in Saint-Tropez, just as Cannes is also more expensive because of the film festival, because of the events that take place in Cannes. So yeah, that's a particularity of the south, that you have little villages, little cities like Saint-Tropez was a fisher harbor. There was just a fisher village, and it became the most expensive place in the Riviera. So yeah, again, it's only demand and offer. Yeah. Another question: what taxes should I? Well, we talked about that. What taxes should I pay as a property owner in France? So property tax and wealth tax on real estate over 1.3 million. So we talked about that. Another question from Sadwin Jeans: Fabron versus Montboron. And then I have another question: Palm Beach, Cannes. Well, that's very precise, guys. You know the area, right? So Fabron versus Montboron. Interesting question. Montboron, more expensive than Fabron. You can have nice sea views from both areas, from Montboron and from Fabron. Fabron is, they're both residentials. Fabron is a little more constructed than Montboron. You have more condominiums there in Fabron, but it's a nice area where you can find condominiums with a swimming pool, with gardens. So it's pretty nice. Montboron, yeah, more expensive. You can reach very high prices. Sorry, on Montboron, depending on where the view that you have and when the house or the apartment or the condominium is located. But yeah, and Palm Beach, Cannes. Cannes is all expensive, more or less. Cannes La Boca is a little less expensive. Palm Beach is expensive. Yeah. We're in the. That's one of the most expensive parts in Cannes. But Cannes, generally speaking, is more expensive. Is one of them. Yeah, it's the most expensive city, I would say, in this part of the Riviera, in between Menton and Cannes. Yeah. The good thing, sorry, I'm just getting back to the former question, Fabron versus Montboron. The good thing about Fabron is that you have the tram line 2 that goes all the way down on the promenade, close to the promenade. So there's a tram stop for Fabron and different hills there. So it's pretty good to of course, the problem is that you have to reach the tram, so you need to walk or have a car. But once you can take the tram to go to the center, versus for Montboron, you definitely need a car. You don't have much transportation up there. So, other question. Oh, question from the Snoof. On a per square meter basis, what does a gut job renovation? Okay, very good question. Thank you for asking. What does gut job renovation cost in Nice with high-end finishes? And what would be the timeline for a 2-bedroom? So, I would say for a renovation in Nice, you have to count a basic renovation. Now it's 1,500 euros per square meter. A good renovation is in between 2,000 to 2,500, and luxury or very high end would be above 2,500, probably around 3,000 euros. So let's say 2,000 euros for a good renovation in Nice. And what would be the timeline for a 2-bedroom? It all depends on the company who's doing the works, I would say. Let's say that from the first, if you're using an interior designer for the first drawings to the achievement, I would say, I mean, if you're renovating everything, probably 6 months would be more or less a good time estimation for a full renovation. Yeah. Be careful when you select your company for the renovation works. There are a lot of question. Can you help with the reno? Yeah, we can. That's what I was saying just now. So yeah, because there's a lot of people doing works here, and a lot of people are not very good. Some of them they just don't see them anymore because they went bankrupt or whatever, and they leave you with the apartment under works. So yeah, we do help. We have our companies, our interior designers, our architects, and we help with reno. Yeah, definitely. We did a couple of since the beginning. We have a lot of clients that want already renovated apartments, but since we've created the company 4 years ago, we had four big projects and five projects and one a little project, but four total renovations. And so yeah, so we have some experience now in with the companies, etc. Professor, how about the population in Fréjus? Retired French population, expats, or a mix? A mix, yeah, well, I would say like everywhere in the south, mainly. Yeah, retired French population, true, and also some expats. A little less than in Saint Raphael or these areas, for example, but you have also expats, yes, in Fréjus. I mean, you have a lot of demand from expats everywhere now, so you would find expats everywhere. Probably a little less in Fréjus, but you would find some. Yeah, definitely. I have demands on. I mean, we help people buying in from again from Menton to even after Cannes, Montauroux, or even up to Saint-Tropez if necessary. But I have demands that I cannot fulfill at the moment because I don't have agents there. But we have demands in Toulon. We have demands in some demands in Marseille also. So now, yeah, I think that expats are everywhere. Another question. Thank you for the heart. Tell us about the extent from do I read this correctly? Ferreister, tell us about the extent of problems with squatters that buyers in your area experience when it's their second home and they visit for short periods only. Good question. Yeah, the problem exists for sure. It's a true problem. The law has changed, hopefully. So now, because before they were very protected, so it was a big problem. Now the law has changed, so it's a bit, I wouldn't say easier, but let's say that you have more possibilities now to get rid of the squatters. But it's a real problem. The thing is that when you buy a house here, you definitely need an alarm system, a protection system that's connected to your phone, that you can, if somebody gets in the house, you're immediately informed on your phone, because you have to act quickly. Because what they do is generally they get in the house, they change the locks, they change the name, and by the time the owner reacts, even if you call the police and the police comes by and they see the name on the door, and they see that their guys have the key, so they say, oh, okay, they're living there, and they go, and that's it, they're in. So yeah, the best thing is to have a very, very good protection system with a direct alarm in your phone saying somebody's in your home, because that's the only way. You need to be very prompt in reacting and calling the police. Yeah. So now it's not like every home is visited or squatted, but it's a real problem. Yeah, true. Do you work in Brittany or Angers? Not yet at the moment. Not yet. Yeah, probably, hopefully in the years to come. That's a plan for the company, to have agents everywhere in France. But at the moment, probably hopefully for 2027, 2028, but not at the moment. Linda Stewart, hello. Do you have a property management division? No, we don't. Not at the moment. No, sorry. That's a real, completely different job, and we don't. We do help also renters to find places here on the Riviera, but we don't do property management. Not yet. Not yet. Well, I have a question which is related also to what we spoke before about the expats in Fréjus. It's how easy it is to integrate if you don't speak fluent French. It's pretty easy, actually. As I said before, there are expats everywhere, so it's easy to go. It's good and it's not good. It's good and bad. It's good because you can easily speak English with again with the other expats. There's a lot of clubs and communities that you can go to. There's different social clubs, the American Club. They have a lot of again with a lot of events. The good thing is that you can communicate easily and you don't feel alone on the Riviera. The bad thing is that you don't learn French. So, so it's good to take some courses, of course, in French, and try sometimes to be in the French communities so that you can improve your French. But no, it's easy to integrate even if you don't speak English. The Snoof, what is the best rental strategy? Is the plan is to buy? What is the best rental strategy? Is the plan to buy a Renault and have you help with that? A mobility lease? Can you bring two cats to a mobility leased apartments? Um, so yeah, so we have a special service which is called the rent and buy service, where we can help you find the rental and buy your apartment during that time. So two possibilities, I would say. It depends where if you're ready. I mean, if you're ready, if you know that you're going to buy in 3, 6, 9 months maximum, then it's a good solution to take mobility, what we call a mobility lease, or at least a mid-term lease, I would say. We can help you with that. And during that time, we find the apartment. The best time to do it is in between September, October to June, because that's where you have a lot of apartments that are normally on Airbnb in the summer that are empty in the winter, or that do those mobilities. Don't If you want to do that, don't come in the summer, because then you won't find a 3, 4, 6 months or 9 month lease. It's very difficult. So the second option is to take, and we do that also, is to take a 1 year lease, and we look for the apartment to buy during the same time, knowing that you can leave easily a 1 year lease also, because the rental market in Nice and the Riviera, generally speaking, but in Nice is very tense. What we call is a tense zone in France, and so the procedures to leave a long-term lease are now much easier. So you just need 1 month notice, and you can leave from 1 year lease. So. And can you bring two cats to a mobility lease apartment? I guess so. It depends on the management company renting the apartment, but I would say why not? And if they don't scratch the sofa, I guess that's all right. I guess you can. And on the long term 1 year lease, of course, you can bring cats, dogs, elephants, whatever you want. Small elephants, because we have small apartments. Anyway, so. What a question. I had one last question that was sent by email. Do you help with everything? Yeah, we do. We help with everything. We help with we have our notaries that we work with, our English speaker, of course, and that very good. We have our mortgage brokers. We have currency brokers, legal, everything. So we don't do anything. We have our partners. So if you need any help around your acquisition, we can help with that, of course. Yeah, we do. We do. And that's all the questions I have by email. Let's see if we have another question here. Do you help with setting up utilities? Yes, we do. We do. So we have in the process, basically. So we help you pre-selecting the properties, finding the property, of course, checking the property, everything about the property, so that we make sure that you're not buying a property with a problem. That means, for example, for an apartment, we check all the co-owners assembly minutes to see if the 3 last ones, to see, for example, if there are works that have been voted that you would have to pay for, and if there could be a big budget, like it happened once in an apartment in Grasse, actually. And we found out, and it wasn't written everywhere. It was just a little sentence that rang a bell, and we noticed we ended up. We ended up finding out that there were 600,000 euros of works to be done on the building to reinforce the building. So, of course, we told our client to walk away from that deal, and we searched for another apartment. So we do controls for a house. Also, we control so if it's in a flooding zone and fire zone, etc. Because that's especially flooding is a major risk now. And we do also some controls. For example, for an apartment, we would go with a contractor that we have in our among our partners to see if everything is okay. And if really needed, we also work with a couple of companies that do house inspections. Actually, it's quite new in France, but they do complete house inspections. The cost is about 2,500 euros for a full house inspection, but if needed, we can have it done. And then we help you all through the notary process, the negotiation, of course. We help you prepare the offer. We help you with the compromis, the pre-contract, understanding the pre-contract. And then, we help you with setting up utilities, getting your bank accounts, your insurance for the apartment, your internet, your French telephone line. Et voila. And you're in and get your keys. That's it. We do. Right. Any other questions? On my side, that's all the questions I had, but if you have another question, go ahead and let's keep the line a couple of minutes more. You're welcome. Thank you, Ferreister. Thank you. Welcome. My pleasure. So just we don't have these live sessions every month. What are we, the second Thursday? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, of the month. So and again, the live session is recorded on YouTube, so you will find it on our YouTube channel, French Riviera House Hunting. And you will also find there some videos that I do about, it's called How About Living In, where it explains different places in the Riviera, how is it to live there, about a little bit about the history, real estate, some tips. We also have podcasts with our clients that we do. So yeah, a lot of information that you can get on our YouTube channel. Sorry. Well, thanks for attending, everybody. If you have another last question, you're welcome. Schnoof, the Schnoof is French, huh? The Schnoof. There was a movie with if I'm correct, with I think Louis de Funès and yeah, I forgot the name. Anyway, so Le Schnoof, it's yeah. I guess that's the reference. You tell me. Monthly chats will be excellent. Linda, thank you, Linda. Yes, we do. We do. Next one, I can tell you already. Next one. Hold on just a second. Next one will be on. I got it here. Should know it by heart, huh? The next one will be on May 21, May 21st, next session. So prepare your questions, and Schnoof is your cat. Okay. Hello, Schnoof. Okay. And Spikeball, thank you, Spikeball. Thank you all. So I'll okay. Next one, May 31st. Have a nice evening, everybody, and maybe I'll meet you again on the next one. Thank you. Thanks for your questions. You make this live, so also. So thank you very much. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.